You mentioned earlier, sorry, it's Frankie from Dovetail. You mentioned earlier on about the finding young people. I know there's young people here, so I don't want to in any way demonise them, but that you found there was a great difference between the apathy here politically and what you were finding in other countries. Do you have plans, or is there a vision for what you're doing, trying to impact on that and change that? And if so, what is it? I mean, because I think it is a real issue in the country.
Yeah, well, part of it is, so the main thing we're trying to do is we're bringing the Fora Do Eixo model, so the principal model that the system is built on in Brazil, to the UK. So we're starting to build this kind of system that essentially helps bands develop audiences in cities outside their hometown. And it promotes bands working really hard, working together, and it essentially has its own currency built within it and its own value. Now, of course, this is the principal thing that Fora Do Eixo was built on, and now that's gone huge and influences governments and so on. So we have to start with something. So that's kind of what we're starting with. And we hope that this system will grow, and already we're launching it in September. It's called Off Axis. And we've already had just absolutely phenomenal interest in it across the country from every level, from the head of the Arts Council through to, emerging bands. So we hope that this will kind of change the mentality about the way in which bands and musicians work. And we hope that will then filter through and show people, and again, we're talking about this a lot, alternative models, alternative ways of doing things. So Fora Do Eixo in Brazil is built on music. Music is the core, and then everything else. I should have mentioned, they have a free university, they're a bank, all of these other things are then connected to it. But music is the thing that kind of ties it all together. So essentially we're replicating that here, and then we're going to share that around the rest of our networks. But that, we hope, will promote, sort of collective, collaborative working. But it's very tricky. We're constantly talking about, these alternatives and trying to get the message out. And we're taking this to, a whole bunch of UK festivals this year and trying to spread the message. There is only kind of two of us. And, we hope that, if we sort of talk about this, then it will plant seeds in other people's minds. But I think it's very difficult. I think it scares me, the situation in this country at the moment. I think it's just so volatile. I just think there's just, the UK riots, when they happened, everyone kind of went crazy at these young people, and it's like, but why are they doing this? They have no hope, no aspiration. We should be doing something about this situation, just rather than blaming them and saying that they're one new pair of trainers. And I just think, something needs to happen, and I think it will eventually, because things are getting worse and worse here. But yeah, hopefully by us showing that there are alternative ways of doing things within a kind of framework that's, at the moment a conservative framework, then hopefully that will inspire people to start to work together and do things differently.